Brought to you by the City of Marinette. And I have a new guest with me today. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Marissa Biswabic. I am a local art therapist and I am a founder of an art therapy practice called Creative Routes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you here because this is something that our area does not have, or at least I don't know if there is one in the area.
Yeah. Yep.
But I think it's very cool what you're doing. And I guess we should probably start asking some questions here. What is art therapy?
Art therapy is a mental health service, a mental health practice. Um, and the way that it works is that, similar to like traditional talk therapy or counseling, I would meet with somebody and we would kind of work on your goals or the things that you're looking to process. But the difference is that we do that through art making. So,
Oh,
yeah. So as an art therapist, I get to think about, design, and kind of facilitate art making experiences that help people work through whatever it is
whatever.
they're going through,
Yeah.
whether it's like
Trauma.
communication, trauma,
Yeah.
maybe just learning how to express yourself creatively.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of ways that you can kind of engage in the
Oh
process,
my
but
God.
it's all about art making and using that as a tool for language,
Yeah,
really.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. A lot of, people that might have PTSD or
Hmm.
borderline personality disorder or something,
Yeah,
or just
or
have,
even if you're just feeling lonely or a little
yeah,
depressed, maybe you're
exactly.
stressed,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
The whole scale
Mm-hmm.
of things. Art therapy is really great and can benefit
Mm-hmm.
anybody.
Oh, yes.
It's just how much of the benefit are you going to get from it depends on your situation and
Exactly.
how willing you are to engage in kind of the creative process. So, yeah.
So like, what is and we're kind of touching on it right now, but
Sure.
the purpose, like, what's the overall purpose of art
Mm.
therapy?
The overall purpose of art therapy is kind of the same as other mental health processes. It's to help people increase their wellness, their
Okay.
mental wellness,
Yeah.
kind of from an alternative or creative approach.
Right.
So I use art making in my daily life, and I try to help
Yeah.
others kind of also tap into that creative process because it is really an interesting way and a creative way to work through
Yeah.
maybe some of the things that you're feeling or experiencing, thinking about.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So art
Uh,
therapy,
yeah.
it's it's different in some ways because when you're engaging in art making in the creative process,
Hmm.
you're using a different part of your brain than you would if you were speaking vocally or writing in language. And so you
Okay.
get to kind of flex your muscles in a
Yeah.
different
And kind of
department, so
leave
to
those other
speak.
ones alone, just close the door on those filing cabinets over
Yeah.
there and open those other ones.
Yeah, and sometimes it's hard to vocalize or think of the
Yeah.
words
Yeah.
of what it is you're experiencing or going through. And so
Hmm.
art making can give you the chance to tell your story or share how you're feeling without necessarily having to have those
Right.
words.
Right.
So it kind of works as a platform to help people
Almost
share
like
about
a,
themselves.
yeah, almost like a free talk.
Yeah.
When you or like when you're journaling, some people are very strict on how they journal, or there's like just the free writing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's kind of similar, I think. Well,
Yeah.
that's how I keep it in my brain.
Well, that's kind of how I operate as an art therapist too,
Hmm.
right? I might have a process or an art supply or a medium kind of in my mind about
Hmm.
how this could benefit somebody or whatever it is that they are going through. I try to tailor
Hmm.
those processes to that person. But I also have to pivot and kind of work with people, depending on how
Right,
they respond to
right,
that. So
exactly.
sometimes it's very structured and we have a plan and we stick
Hmm.
to it. And
Yep.
sometimes things sort of unfold and evolve naturally. And it's my job to kind of like
Big,
follow along with
right,
the ebb
ebb
and
and
flow of that. Yeah.
flow. So, how long have you been doing art therapy?
Yeah, so I graduated with my master's in art therapy in 2019, and I've been working in kind of the nonprofit community based world since then,
Okay.
working as an art therapist and
Yeah.
kind of in this community setting. And so I actually moved, I'm a Marinette native, and I moved back to the area last summer.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seemed like an opportunity to kind of do something different and,
Mm-hmm.
put my big girl pants on and go out
Yes,
there and
yes.
do something.
Step out into the world.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
that's kind of where this whole thing has evolved from and kind
Yeah.
of why I'm here talking with you today.
Yes, I think you have a very cool plan and of what it is that you're going to be doing, and I think with that it's going to open up a lot of doors, you know.
I hope so. The idea is really just to let people know that this is a resource that's
Mm-hmm.
available, and to try to make it accessible as possible, whether that's transportation or financially, whatever it
Mm-hmm.
is.
Right.
There is I think, a really strong need for mental health services in the area.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hoping I can provide something a little bit different, that
Right.
might help open up some of those doors for
Oh,
people.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, how do they go about contacting you?
Yeah, so I do have a website and a Facebook page kind of
Oh,
running right now. So
cool.
if you look up Creative Roots or Creative Routes, you'll find me there. That's kind of the best way to get a hold of me because I'm
On Facebook or the website?
either or.
Either or?
Yeah,
Okay. So is the website creativeroutes.com?
creativeroutes.org.
Oh, .org.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And then Creative Routes on Facebook.
Yeah.
All right. Got that too.
Yeah.
And I want to know, you have some events that you have coming up. And on March 21st, you are doing Stitch and Bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, tell me about this.
Yeah. So that is going to be, it's in a collaboration with Spirit House in Menominee,
Yes.
which is a super awesome place. If you've never been there,
Oh, you got to go.
highly recommend
Oh,
checking it
yeah.
out. So I'm going to be doing a fiber arts support group there. So, all of your traditional fiber art
Yeah.
stuff, knitting, crochet, needle felting, sewing, all of
Yeah.
that. So the idea is that you can come and hang out with other people who also are interested in fiber arts. If you have a project you've already started that you want to come and just
cool.
be with other people,
Yeah.
you can do that. Otherwise, I'll be bringing everything I have in my arsenal and be more than happy to kind of teach people, maybe a new
Yeah.
process if they're interested. So
Yeah, no
just
kidding.
kind of a casual, no
Little casual
pressure.
get together and maybe learn a new craft.
Yeah, and meet other people who are interested in
Yeah,
the same thing.
exactly.
So,
And you're also doing a queer craft.
yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, so Queer Craft is kind of really my first consistent group that I'm running. It is for people who are identifying as LGBTQ or an ally. And so I am partnering with the Rec Center to kind of make this happen. They're graciously letting me into their space to offer kind of a monthly support group for folks in that kind of
Nice.
arena. So I'll be coming with a bunch of supplies. It'll kind of
Oh,
be choose your own adventure. I'll try to have something prepared
I love
to guide
it.
people, but the idea is really just to provide community and a space that
Yeah.
feels supportive for people to connect with one another. So
I
yeah.
can think of a few people that might need that.
yeah.
So how do they sign up for that?
Yeah, so both of the
Or all of
events,
them, yeah.
yeah, both the Stitch and Bitch and then also the Queer Craft are basically drop-in. So
Oh,
you don't have to sign up. You can decide the last minute if you want to come or not. That's totally okay.
really?
We will be hosting it whether one person shows up or more than that. It is going to be on a pay what you can kind of situation. So again, like mental health services can be really expensive and sometimes
Yes.
it's not affordable. And, I recognize that as somebody who also has, been working in this profession for a while. So I'm offering to pay what you can. There is a suggested donation, but if you are not able to provide any financial, contributions for this, we will not turn you away. It really is about kind of making the space for folks and, showing up in whatever way you can.
Right,
So-
right. And that's important. And I don't think that there's enough of that here for those in need of mental health services, because they may not have insurance, they may not have money,
Mm-hmm.
and they just need help,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know?
And that's kind of the goal with sort of this idea that I have about having this mobile studio is that
Mm-hmm.
I can connect with other agencies, other people in the
Right.
community who recognize this need and want to be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So we can really meet people in the spaces that they're sort of
Exactly.
already
Right.
attending or are a part of.
Yeah, or where they feel comfortable, depending on
Right.
who you are. If you're working with homelessness,
Mm-hmm.
or you can go right to them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
so awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you have some great stuff going on, and I can't wait to learn more about your Stitch and Bitch and Career Craft and, everything else that you're going to have popping up. So,
Yeah.
this is Creative Routes, everybody. And you can find her online at creativeroutes.org or on Facebook at Creative Routes.
Mm-hmm.
All of her contact info is there. And any any lasting words, my dear?
Yeah. I would just say if you're even remotely considering seeking mental health services, or if you want to support or be contributing in some kind of way, I'm really open to collaborating with people. I think that's the
Wonderful.
best way to support the people who need it the most, and it makes sense to create a network. So,
Definitely.
you know, if you're interested, please reach out to me, or come check out one of the events too, because
Definitely.
it's definitely, I think, something that's a little different and kind of
Yeah.
fun too.
Yeah.
So
I can think of, we'll talk.
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you again for coming in. And it's time for me to get something to drink because
Mm.
my mouth is really dry. But I want to say thank you. And everybody out there, if you have questions regarding art therapy, or maybe you're in need of mental health services, or just want to talk to someone, um, give us a call or find Creative Roots online at creativeroutes.org or Creative Routes on Facebook.
Hmm.
So I think that's it. You
That's
guys have
it.
you guys have